You know, we used to have a consistent schedule with these things.
But
Wait,
then life
that
happened.
exists? That exists?
Wait,
Yes.
life exists?
We had a consistent schedule. It was always every other Sunday.
And
And
then we had to fuck it up.
no legend had to fuck it up.
Well, it was also me too at a couple of coins, because as long as there's three of us here, we can make this work.
Yeah, well, technically, as long as we have me and Leo on this podcast, we can somehow make it work.
No, I think as long as there's two OG hunters, we can make this work.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, hello, welcome to the Legend Hunters podcast. I was about to say bombcast for a second. I have no idea why.
Does it have anything to do with the picture I recently drew, or no?
No, I think I might have been just, I might have been thinking of Windjammers for some reason.
Weird.
Do
Anyway,
you even know what that is, Zero?
not entirely.
Oh my god, you don't know what Windjammers is.
Googling it.
It is the most hype-ass... It is the revival of sports games as entertainment, not as life simulators.
Oh wait, I think I may have seen someone actually play this on YouTube.
Muzi, you know what Ultimate Frisbee is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that taken to Pong levels of craziness, with the disc bouncing off of walls, and taking place in a rad beach-like scene with 80s action hero characters.
Yeah, I do remember seeing KZX and Phantom Savage did the co-op of this for like one of their one-off Bastard Brother Let's Plays.
Yeah, I would imagine it's a fantastic game. I should. That's one of the things I need to add to my list.
Wait, you going to add that
I have
to
a
Steam
shit
or something?
ton of games that are on my list that I've yet to actually play.
Really now?
Yeah, some of them I've actually beaten, but not a lot. I guess as I'm talking, can I go ahead and start my week then?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Alright, I haven't been doing much because of school, and it is taking up a lot more time than I expected this time around, but I've made a little bit of progress here and there. I've been playing Dragon Quest VIII still. I've finally gotten past the part where I got stuck in my original game.
And that would be?
I reached Ortusk.
Orkutsk.
Ortusk, the ice area.
Yeah, it's Orkutsk.
Orkutsk. It's Russian.
Yeah, you got to add the very thick Russian accent.
The very thick Russian phlegm that has infested all of mankind. The only thing that makes us sound comprehensible is the vodka that burns the phlegm off of our throats. Okay, that was offensive.
Highly, but you know what? That's what we do here. We don't give a fuck.
Very true. So yeah, I got there. I have been alchemying the shit out of the game to the point where it feels like I'm cheating.
Yeah.
Like I do not know if I got good or whether whether they dropped the difficulty on this thing, because I am severely. I feel like I'm under leveled for the area, and I'm still just kicking asses and taking names.
Word of advice: make 4 anti-confuse bracelets. You're going to need them.
I will keep those in mind once I figure out the recipe for them. What, you know what it is?
I think I have a guide for it on. I think there's a guide for it on the internet. If not, I can.
I'll probably just look it up on GameFAQs after we're done here. But yeah, because I have like one of the strongest swords for the hero. I have Yangus already has a kick-ass axe, or not axe, scythe. Jessica just learned her super powerful spells from Domenico, and Angelo he is a perpetual healing machine.
Yeah, just
Mercy has nothing on the amount of heals that Angelo can dish out.
Yeah, just keep Angelo on permanent heal always status, and just
No, zero. Just make sure he always has a boner going.
oh dear. Oh, god damn
Because
it.
he uses bows, and that's the one that restores his MP faster.
Yeah, that's it. God damn it.
There we go. It's not a Legend Hunters podcast until we've made Zero facepalm.
Oh, yes, indeed.
What else? I played a very old Dreamcast game. I decided to play Sonic Adventure DX. And boy, has that game not aged well.
You mean with the wibbly wobbly mouth movements?
Yes.
As Tears
Sonic
of Grace
Adventure 2
would
I
put
still
it?
like, though.
Yeah, it aged better. There's still some issues, but it's aged better.
Now I'm wondering which. Now remind me, the original Sonic Adventure is the one with Chaos, right?
Yes, that's the one with Chaos. You play as E108 Omega and Big the Cat, in addition to Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails.
Who the fuck wants to play as Big the Cat?
People who like Sega Bassmasters.
I Chihuahua.
Do you remember that game from the Chuck E. Cheese?
I think I only went to the Chuck E. Cheese in this area like once, and I was terrified of the animatronics.
Thankfully, they learned their lesson and didn't have Big as a playable character in 2.
Right, but that's because they went ahead and they just made it like they just made the gaming the same. I think for the most part, you have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles on one side, and Doctor Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge on the other, and they basically just had the same gameplay.
You almost called him Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman. I mean, it's the same guy. They just wanted to change the name so that way it sounds cooler. Sounds edgier.
I thought Robotnik sounded edgier.
Well, no, because remember that we were in the mid 2000s and they had Robotnik since early 90s.
I think so.
So now he's just the Eggman. That, or I guess they had like a secret Beatles fan in which they decided they were going to change it up, like they did with Guns N' Roses for Mega Man X7.
Cuckoo Kachu?
X5. X5. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, I played through Sonic, Tails' campaign, and working through Knuckles, which is arguably the most annoying of them all. And I say that compared to Big the Cat's campaign too.
Oh, really?
I really dislike the gem hunting puzzles or the gem hunts for Knuckles. Easily the least favorite part of the Sonic games, in my opinion.
Aren't Rouge's stages also gem hunts too?
Yeah, Rouge uses the same mechanics, and it's just because it's a bit of a crapshoot on whether or not you find the darn things, and it has to do both with luck and not using the hint TVs because those deduct points when you use them. It's kind of like it kind of goes to an old school find and click, but because of the platforming elements, it's also kind of weird and it's off. So yeah, that's one of my gripes with that game. Still like it though. I played an app game for once, which is rare for me.
Really?
I played Fortune Street in mobile.
They have a mobile. Oh, jeez. There's a mobile version of that cancer.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it works exactly the same way, except that at least in the free version I played, they didn't have the license for Mario and Dragon Quest characters. So you're just playing as random student characters from a fictional universe. But the concept is still the same. You're still moving around places, buying up properties, going through stocks, selling, buying, holding, etc.
So the usual kit and caboodle.
So usually the kit and the caboodle, except you have to deal with 3 AIs.
Oh God, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, I only played the trial version of it, but it looks like something I would be invested to get the full version of it if I had more time.
And there's probably pay-to-win crap as well.
No, I actually looked it up. It's only just it's the trial version and the full version, which is like $3, and that's it.
Well, at least it's cheaper than Super Mario Run.
Or Pokemon Go. It's not freemium like Pokemon Go, so there you go. It's you have your poisons either way, but it looks like something that I might need to play it a little bit more just to see if the difficulty's bullshit, but it's something I currently would recommend to someone if they want to emulate the feelings of Fortune Street on the go.
I see.
I watched my roommate clear through most of Persona 5. I don't know if he's cleared the end, but I saw him get through through most of it.
Alrighty.
I haven't. I'll let you discuss that more, and I'll jump in when we do that. But the other thing that I played, which is finally, Spectre Torment.
Ah, how'd you enjoy it?
Very interesting, and I think that you and Legend had this conversation. I meant to jump in on it, but I completely forgot. But generally, you covered the same points, which was all four of the stories for the Shovel Knight, all three of the stories, and the fourth one being King Knight, which we haven't seen yet. All of them base themselves on a genre of fiction.
That being romance.
No, actually, I would argue against that. I would argue that that it's more specialized than that.
Or maybe just matters of the heart.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I would say that Shovel Knight is much more about a more classic action more stereotypical adventure novel.
All right.
Because it's not as even though it's very much implied that Shield and Shovel Knight have more of a partnership.
Yeah, you kind of glitched right there.
It's an Elliot Stable and Olivia Benson style deal. Like, you want them to be together, but it's never explicitly stated.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. But at least for Plague Knight is most certainly about romance.
Oh yeah.
And more subtly about the lengths someone goes for romance.
And of course, saying that love is completely and utterly insane.
Well, it's all about chemistry.
But
my jokes are good.
That one was good. That one didn't make me want to punch you like it usually does.
Okay. So you took off points for that. You took off the number of smacks you're giving me when I go back for that.
No.
Oh, come on. Have a heart.
You don't lose smacks, you only gain them.
Anyway, Spectre Knight.
But anyway, so Spectre Knight, going from adventure to romance to Spectre Knight, we have the tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Very clearly, this is a tragedy. And one of the things I like about this game is that it's consistent with the idea that it's a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things I will spoil early on is that you will not fight Shovel Knight in this game.
Of course, because he's still busy moping off plowing fields.
Right, but they make sure that that's taken into account. Now, you do have other boss battles that occur to make up for this.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes ahead and makes sure that you don't have to worry about this thing. But they do make sure that the cameos make their appearances. They have the Phantom Striker appear as the boss in
the Lich Yard
Spectre Knight stage,
who
has an incredibly beefed up moveset. Incredibly beefed up. I think he was the only boss I died to hard in that game.
Yeah, I kind of recommend you don't do that guy first, although I do.
Well, it's
you're
interesting.
a masochist, so yeah.
Yeah, we're Dark Souls players. We're masochists, but it was a good fight. The remixes for most of the bosses were on point. I think they still flubbed a bit on King Knight, but again, he's kind of the de facto first knight that you're supposed to fight.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's fair, especially if you're trying to introduce to the players that, hey, we've remixed the boss fights. Your strategies will not work like they used to.
I gotta say that I still liked King Knight's fight because they were now platforms you had to jump to avoid.
Yeah, that's
Hits.
true. I don't think that was I'm always against arbitrary insta kills in fights like that.
Oh,
So-
if you want to talk about arbitrary insta-kill, how about Tinker Knight's level?
Okay, that's hilarious because I don't mind auto scrollers.
I called bullshit on that one.
I mean, I died to it too, but I think that it's Muzi. Jump in. Feel free to jump in whenever you want. If you have any comments.
I haven't played it enough to.
Okay. But yeah, just the boss remakes are amazing. One of the other neat little things is that since the overworld is sort of kaput, they have a whole new way of giving you artifacts.
Yep, which is the you have to collect skulls.
Right, but more important that you can act like you buy them from a shop.
Yep.
But when you buy them, you actually go to a training area where it tells you this is how you're supposed to use the item.
Mm-hmm. It's basically...
And you cannot clear the area unless you use the item properly.
Yeah, one of them actually confused me for a little bit because I wasn't sure how to work it.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me too, but then it really was really clever how they made sure they emphasized everything that needed to be.
Yeah.
And it was I think I only died once in that area because I wasn't paying attention to that. Collectibles are still there. There wasn't any sheet music to find this time, right?
No sheet music because I don't think the bard has actually lost his music yet.
Okay, which makes me wonder. It makes me wonder that in King's Knight's campaign, that he's going to run into the bard at one point, and they're going to have an altercation that leads to the sheet music actually getting lost.
I wonder.
Wouldn't be surprising.
I mean, everything at least that I've seen so far from Yacht Club makes me think that that if there's a detail, there's a specific reason for the detail.
Perhaps.
So, for example, one of the things that I like is that you actually don't get to fight the Baz in Spectre Knight's campaign.
Yeah, Spectre Knight just looks at it and is like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Man, get the GTFO. And he's like,
And just...
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't go too much into anything else without spoilering. There are two more. I'll make two more points real quick, and Zero, you probably agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the tower.
Fuck the tower.
Fuck the tower minigame.
Yeah.
I think I texted you after I was doing like a 30-minute run of trying to clear the damn thing, and I got carpal tunnel in my thumb because I kept mashing the buttons too much.
Yeah, I almost broke my Switch controller playing that.
It's rough.
It's complete arschlock for a pointless achievement.
Well, it's the achievement that everyone cares about.
Fair enough.
The thing that makes it so difficult is that it's randomly generated, Muzi. If you haven't seen it yet. So it will use the same portions. Like there'll be certain parts that are familiar, but they will keep rearranging them every time you attempt the tower.
And you'll even be going through the same segment multiple times through the trek.
Yeah, so you have to be aware, and there's a lot. I did not. I did it before I cleared the 8 stages. And my recommendation to anyone trying it is to not do it until after you do all 8 stages, because then you have his best artifact.
Yeah, which is this orb that allows you to just immediately zip to an enemy. Completely.
You know how he does that attack where he floats around and then he where he's invulnerable and then he does a quick scythe attack?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have that as a artifact item.
Yeah, and it basically allows you to cut through like walls and stuff to get through to it.
you basically become intangible, and you home in on the enemy to kill them, and then you land. So it's good for teleporting, which is what you need in this stage.
Oh god, yeah.
Other things, the scythe grinding sections are awesome.
Yep.
I think having the scythe grind as a optional like dash with one of the cloaks was a brilliant move.
Oh yeah, you just press like down while wearing that rail mail, and you're just
And you just grind.
yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is that there's an enemy that that has this whole little mini story about traveling between traveling between all of the night stages. And you basically, like, he complains about being stuck in one stage, and you help him out, and you help him change from place to place, and then eventually at the end, he goes ahead and he transforms into a new character, and it's like, we've never seen this guy before. I'm wondering if he's going to show up later on. You know who I'm talking about, Zero?
Oh, the Dragon Knight.
The Dragon Knight, yeah.
And I'm like,
we've never actually seen this character before.
No, we haven't, and I was kind of expecting to see him in the Tower of Fate.
I know, I was too, which makes me wonder because again, everything that Yacht Club does hints at what their future project is. For example, so far back, when you play Shovel Knight's campaign and you beat it, at the end credits, when it pans to Spectre Knight, he shakes his fist when he realizes that the face amulet is gone.
Yeah.
There's a specific reason why he does that, and it's explained in this game.
Yep.
So it really makes me have a lot of high expectations for Yacht Club when it comes to this. When I'm looking forward towards King Knight.
Well, hopefully we'll get King Knight pretty soon.
Which going back to my initial overarching thing about everyone being themed. Shovel Knight is an adventure. Plague Knight is romance. Spectre Knight is tragedy. Naturally, King Knight is going to be a comedy.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Of course.
Yeah, so
he's a perpetual comedy. Anyways.
Yeah, but even more so, this is going to be, we are approaching Super Mario 2 levels of this is non-canon.
It's a bullshit.
It's either going to be
bullshit. It doesn't matter. Is what it's. That doesn't matter, Luigi.
It's either going to be all inside King Knight's head, or it's going to be a prequel before the prequel.
A pre-prequel.
Yes.
Because canonically speaking, Shovel Knight is the last one. Arguably, you could say Plague Knight occurs about the same time.
Plague Knight and Shovel Knight happen in tandem with one another.
Yeah.
They're parallel stories.
So at least in Shovel Knight's ending, you see that King Knight is scrubbing the floors and he's doing all of this. So you either have two options. Option A is that it's a pre-prequel, like you said, or B, it's a sequel after Shovel Knight's, and he's going to go ahead and basically regain his kingly status.
Of course,
I want it to be this big, like, lavish daydream.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, at least from what I remember, the backer notes, that was their original concept. I don't know if they're going to still stick to that. They could change their minds. They could throw us for a loop. But everyone, at least in my understanding, is going in with the expectation that Shovel Knight's going to be a joke. Is the comedy.
Either way, we're going to have fun doing a Let's Play of that.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, and one last thing, and it's minor, but it's worth stating. They also released the body swap pack.
Yeah, they were working.
Yes.
They were working on the body swap pack at the same time as Spectre of Torment, which is why both came so late.
And it's a nice little thing. I haven't played fully through a female Shovel Knight campaign. If I see anything particular noteworthy that we might want to record, that might be another extra video we do for the main campaign.
Maybe, just like maybe the first video or something.
We will have to talk it over if we discover anything nice. Lucy, how about you go over your? How about you take the reins? How's your week been? Take the baton. Take the baton.
Yeah. I
Baton
have the
pass.
stick. Mostly
You got
been
this,
trying to
Joker.
get my cat feeling better. She's finally back to her pissy puss self.
Aw. Yay.
Which is a lot sooner than the vet thought she would be feeling better. So
Well, that's good to
That's
hear.
always good.
what's going to be fun is she has to have a follow-up appointment
So
where they want to take blood to check her blood levels again.
Zero, you've never owned a cat, and therefore you never know the hassle of getting a cat into a cat carrier.
Actually, she walks in on her own.
Really?
Yeah. It's when I
Wow.
shut the door and the car starts moving that she has an issue. We think she has motion sickness.
Yeah, my cats do too, so I think that's a common thing. But with my cat, it is a bear to get him into the darn thing.
But before we took her home, they checked her blood levels again. They had to sedate her to get the blood because she was fighting back.
And you weren't helping her hold her down?
No, we hadn't even picked her up yet.
Oh, okay. You weren't there. Oh, wow. She must be feisty if they couldn't handle her.
So she came home totally stoned.
That's something I've never had the pleasure of seeing.
A cat
Well,
totally
I think
stoned.
there's a
Why
picture
did you
on
not give her
Facebook.
catnip to
Her eyes were just like huge, you know. You
Oh,
could
wow.
tell she was like out of it.
That must have been fun to watch.
Yeah, because she would just sit there and stare at something, kind of like, what am I doing?
Oh, fantastic.
We were just glad to have her home because we weren't sure whether she was coming home at all. So
Yeah, that's good. That's always good.
it was a rough couple of days.
I hear you.
Mostly it's been cleaning, playing some games.
What have you been playing?
Let's see. I've been replaying through my Ace Attorney games, and I'm on the third one again.
Nice.
You just really go through those, don't you?
It's like, well, I have the trilogy set thing on my 3DS, so
Oh, that's good. That's good.
it makes it easier. I mean, I have the original cartridges, but I don't have to keep switching them out.
That's good.
And the save and reload thing is quicker, so
Oh, sweet. That's always when you get those quality of life. Those always helps.
oh yes. Especially when you're like, oh crap, I gotta save in front of this testimony.
Yeah, I've been there a lot too.
Still need to finish Spirit of Justice.
Yes, you do. It is good.
Okay.
Get on with it.
Eh.
Get on with it, man.
Get on with it.
I'll get on with it when I damn well want to.
Or when he gets there and he straps you to your 3DS.
Sorry, but the second I saw Miss Balloon Tits, I was like, nope, fuck this, I'm done.
Actually, it gets better after that. It's actually quite funny.
Oh, fun.
Especially the very last part of the game. It's just like, oh my god, that's freaking hilarious. It's a good story overall, though.
Oh, I don't doubt that it is.
And then, let's see. Obviously, I was playing a bit more Mass Effect.
Of course.
People could stop complaining because they fixed the face thing, you know.
For the most part.
It doesn't bother me. I'm just like, whatever. I just play the game. I'm like...
Yeah,
it's your prerogative.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that focused on the faces and you're not playing the game, then what's the point, you know? It's like, either play the game or don't. It's like, if it's not your thing, then don't worry about it, you know? I keep getting sucked into Stardew Valley as well.
I tried to start a new world and then I immediately stopped and I'm like, I don't have all my stuff. I'm frustrated as hell.
Well, I started a new...
Welcome to my Minecraft dilemma.
Well, I started a new file, but I started it in the regular farm area, and it almost has more time on it than my original file now.
I started
When
new...
you know what to do, you take up less time doing it.
I started this one with a wilderness farm, which basically half the farm is coated in forest that you can't farm at all. So it's a little bit more challenging, but you do get like force drops and stuff like that from the different seasons. So yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
foraging comes in handy.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I have like 200 hours on Steam for that.
I think I've got like 75. Like I've got a whole week's worth of time on that.
Well, I've also got 2 files going, so that would explain the addition of the hours.
You psychotic woman. But then again, I'm not much different.
And then been playing quite a bit of Persona 5.
Okay. So who's your favorite? Who's your favorite party member? Who's actually a part of the fight?
Oh, goodness. There's so many good ones in this game.
Let's see. We've got dumbass Ryuji.
It's sure great to be the Phantom Thieves.
He says while shouting through a mega horn with the Phantom Thieves logo on the side.
Subtlety is not his strong suit.
You think?
Yeah. Well, what's really funny is when the other characters just look at him like, dude.
Yep.
And then On ends up smacking him. Just
Yep.
no matter what he does, you know. Especially when the guys are leaning over the seat and staring at her cleavage.
Whose cleavage?
On.
Oh, On's cleavage.
They're riding in Morgana as the truck,
Yes.
and the guys are in the back seat, and the girls are in the front seat, and she's really hot, so she's like, and messing with her shirt, and they're leaning over the seat.
I can't wait to see that animated in the OVAs.
That was animated.
Yeah, it's a cutscene.
Oh, fantastic!
She slams the seat backwards, like slides it backwards on him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And poor Yusuke, he's the only one that wasn't doing it. But he's in the back seat. So.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like, if I do something stupid, Legend and Zero are gonna get hit too.
I swear Yusuke's gay.
That's just the risk you take when you hang around an idiot.
I swear Yusuke is gay because he is so weird.
No, he's just oblivious.
No, he's overly composed.
He says he has no interest in women.
But then he goes out with the guys to go and try and hunt for girls when they're at the beach. So I don't know.
No, he ends up spending all his money on 2 lobsters.
Oh right, he went to the lobster thing. It was Ryuji, the protagonist.
And that's it.
Just those two?
It was just those two.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I do remember it now. He went to go get 2 lobsters.
He spent his entire his free money on 2 lobsters that he will not eat. He just wants to look at them for their aesthetic beauty.
It's like, what the hell?
He could be just a sexual for all we know.
Could be. I will say this. He is the epitome of a starving artist.
Literally.
I don't know.
It just gets so addictive, though, because you're sitting there and you're playing it, and then you look at the clock. Oh, shit!
yeah, absolutely. I have to pull myself away from watching my roommate play it because then I can't do work either. So, and I'm not even playing it. That's the worst part. I will say this about P5 though. One of my quirks, and I only thought about it after going to P4, was that they don't have as much. They don't have as much goofing off times as the P4 cast.
No, not really.
Because, like, specifically, I'm referring to the club sequence from P4.
I don't even think there were any clubs in
The King's Game sequence 0.
Oh god, that shit.
And they ham it up in the animation too. I've only seen the in-game segment of that. I saw the animation a couple of days ago, and by golly, do they ramp it up.
Persona 4, the animation's actually really good. Golden is kind of iffy. It's just basically like beach episode after beach episode, pretty much.
Well, because they understand, like, look, we've already gone over this. We're only adding, like, 2 or 3 characters extra. We don't need to go ahead and go over the plot again. Everyone knows what happens. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, it's basically watch the first couple of episodes of P4, the animation, and then watch like this episode of Golden.
Like if you want to just have more fun, just watch this.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of other things that were I only seen a handful of the interactions, and one of them I need to go back and see, like, how did this actually happen? Because my roommate maxed out the Sun Arcana really quick, and I kind of want to see how that worked out in the end, or how it got to be that way.
Oh, Sun Arcana.
That's the politician.
Oh, I never even did that one.
That is the one. Oh, Zero, you're missing out. Zero. This is the guy who lets you negotiate with higher level demons.
Really?
Yep. You're kind of gonna want that one.
I kinda did need that one. God damn it!
Well,
all I know is that Futaba's is golden for battle.
Yeah, she is really incredibly helpful, as I've seen.
I'm waiting for her to freaking wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be a narcoleptic for the next month. Enjoy it.
What else? I've already made my mentionings about the Temperance Arcana character.
Oh, Becky.
Becky, air quotes, Becky.
Have you encountered that one yet, Muzi?
I don't think so.
Well, she knows, she's seen the character already. She probably hasn't unlocked the Arcana yet.
Yeah, Ryuji...
We'll just say that.
Yeah.
But if you do want to go through Temperance, I think you need to upgrade your guts in order to do it.
You need to upgrade your guts, and you need to be willing to spend $500 a call. 5,000 yen a call.
Oh, the teacher?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
Yeah, she's kind of helpful. She will do stuff at night, so that she'll do stuff on the weekend, so that way you can go into mementos.
Ah.
Yeah.
She basically frees up your nights. Funnily enough.
That's weird. I never actually have ever asked her to do anything. I always forgot to do that. Well, I've got New Game Plus now. My main character has all his stats maxed out, so I can spend more time social linking in New Game Plus.
There you go.
Have you gone ahead and rented DVDs in Game Zero?
Yeah, I did.
Like, apparently there's supposed to be a whole lot of whole lot of video references in them.
Like, there's the X-Files. I saw
There's a MacGyver one.
There's a MacGyver one, yes.
Guy McVer.
Yes.
I think there's a 90210 spoof or something like that on.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was like the first one I rented.
Overall, I think that I think they've done a lot in terms of hitting all the right. It's weird for me because it's not just a Persona game; it's also like a homage to the spy intrigue genre in general.
Oh yes, there's also The Running Dead.
Seriously?
The Running Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, Bubbly
That's
Hills
good.
90210, Wraith, Guy McVer, The X-Folders, Not So Hot Betsy, ICU, Jailbreak, and The Running Dead.
Jesus H. Christ.
Well, they know how to avoid copyright. That's for sure.
Yeah. And
Some of the dialogue you hear coming from the DVDs, it's just freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the best part.
I groaned every single time, and I just was like, I can't stomach this anymore. Fast forward.
Okay. Anything else you want to particularly mention, Zero?
Oh, well, we were talking about... Are
No,
we
but
ta-
I'm asking you in terms of Persona before we give Muzi back her week.
Okay, well, I will say that Persona 5 might just be my all-time favorite Persona game. Like, in terms of the games that I've played, uh, which are the first is 3, 4, and 5, I put number 5 at number 1, number 3 at number 2, and number 4 at number 3. I really do not like the story of Persona 4.
I think that it lacks focus. Is the key thing. It seems like
It's too
Zero-
laid back.
Zero. Let me put it to you this way. P4 is Diamond is Unbreakable. P3 is Stardust Crusaders.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this. P5 is Steel Ball Run.
You sure about that?
I don't think it's... Oh, wait, no, it is Golden Wind.
No, that's Golden Wind, you... How dare you call yourself a JoJo fan?
Shut up. I was kind of referring to the fact that Steel Ball Run is actually considered Araki's magnum opus.
Well, in that case, yes. You'd be correct in that regard.
Yeah. In theme, it's Golden Wind. But, goddamn. Like I said, I don't like Persona 4 story, and a lot of the characters actually irritate me.
Well, you know why, Zero? Because they are the most annoying version of a teenager you could possibly be.
Fuck Chie, fuck Teddy. And not in the good way.
Not in the good way. Not in the good way.
Yeah.
The fan base will gladly show you their fan art, Zero.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're trash. Fight me.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them are just gonna go ahead and say "Hamon," and you're gonna get carted right out the door.
Block, reflect, fuck you.
Anyway, anything else, Muzi?
Went and saw Fate of the Furious again because my parents hadn't seen it. It's a fun movie, so I was like, hey, why not?
Are they
This
gonna make
coming
it?
week, though,
Are they going to make another one?
from what I've heard, it's part of a new trilogy. They don't leave you on a cliffhanger, but it's obvious who the villain is for the next one because of the one they've established in this movie. So like a cliffhanger, but it at least gives you like a window into the next movie.
So to answer any questions, the series still lives on.
Yeah. But in a good way, though, because this movie was actually good. So,
okay, sounds good.
This coming week, however, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yes.
Huh.
I cannot
My
go
dad's
anywhere.
not looking forward to this weekend.
I cannot go anywhere onto the internet without seeing that darn underwear commercial. Have you seen it, Zero?
Underwear commercial?
Hanes is partnering with Marvel to shell out their movies and their underwear. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, how about no to both? Go fuck yourself, Marvel. Go fuck yourself, Hanes.
Like, of all the things you partner with, why that?
Oh, and Doritos. They've partnered with,
I could care less about Doritos. I don't really, but like, Hanes? Really? Are you trying to say something about nerds saying that we don't wear enough underwear in Marvel? The fuck?
Well, yeah. I don't even want to think about it.
Don't continue the thought. Don't continue the thought.
I'll probably be going like Thursday night
Alright.
with Yami, Kari, probably almost since he's got the next day off. So.
Sounds good.
My parents are probably gonna go to the double feature.
Fun.
Sounds good.
I'm assuming they're showing one beforehand.
Yeah, there's a double feature where they're gonna show both.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that will sell well.
Alrighty then.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna be hell at the theater this weekend, though, so my dad's not looking forward to it.
Right.
Well, this next weekend, anyway.
Right. That it with your week, Muzi?
Mostly just waiting for another work experience thing to open up since the first one didn't really work out.
All
right.
So I guess it's finally time for my week. 45 minutes in.
Hey.
Rabbit trail.
It'll happen. We covered Persona, which is the biggest part of it.
Yeah, because I beat Persona in the first week it was out.
Yeah, because you sat there for days.
Zero, you would be someone who you are a video game binger.
Yeah, I pretty much am. I'll play a game nonstop until I've goddamn beaten it. Although I haven't done that with Fire Emblem Fates or with Phoenix Wright yet, but those are.
No, but you did it with Zelda.
Oh god, yeah, I did with Zelda.
Don't make me pull out the Von Karma whip. Come on, get to it.
Okay.
I'll get to it when I
anyway, so what did you do this week aside from Persona? Because we already covered that.
Uploaded the final episode of Bloodborne.
And that will be the last Souls game for a while.
For a fucking long while. Hell, I'm willing to bet the Legend Hunters are going to reinvent themselves before we do Bloodborne, before we do Dark Souls 3. Because I'm thinking we need to rebrand ourselves somehow.
A little bit, yeah. We've kind of gotten away from the whole Pokemon thing.
Yeah, so we need to change the name because if Legend's not going to be around, what the fuck do we call ourselves?
There's no reason to change it. We will need to change the logo.
Yeah.
The logo. Excuse me, I can't speak.
We need to change the logo. We need to change our group's name or whatever. You know what? When you get back into town, we will have a group discussion about this shit.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but other than that, I've been... With Bloodborne finished, I'm now going to go ahead and start uploading some of the Fortune Street that we recorded while you were in town in the early spring.
Oh, good.
So we'll take care of that. I'll start uploading like the second map and maybe the third map. And then maybe once Legend finally gets done with his schoolwork, we'll have finally had enough episodes to start uploading Danganronpa.
Yes!
Sounds good.
Because I got 2 episodes out of him. That's it so far.
Well, it's also a very intensive game, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Which is why I bought lozenges for us for when we decide to record it.
Oh, dear.
Lozenges and water.
Oh, dear. What am I saying?
Yeah. But, yeah, that's what's going on the channel side of things. Other stuff going on, I've kind of reinvented myself on my art site, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, I'm contemplating making a video game. Like an actual video game, an actual platformer.
And you'd make us beta test it, right?
Oh hell yeah. I'd expect you guys to play it, find the glitches, find the cheats, find the ways to make this shit utterly broken. Or am I just expecting Legend to do that?
Oh, we'll help you out as much as we can either way.
I have a feeling that we're all pretty good at finding things that are broken.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you guys would just be my first beta testers. I'm still working on the overall concept. I think I have a story, but it's still very rough around the edges. Like it's the skeleton pretty much.
The game design document is in progress.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say the design doc is ready.
Well, it's in progress.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Other games, manga, anime?
I actually haven't been reading that much in terms of manga at all. Like I read like the latest chapter of JoJo, and I've been keeping up with Fairy Tail and One Piece, but that's about it.
I'm so far behind on reading Fairy Tail. I've got several volumes sitting here I need to read.
I think Natsu died.
I am looking forward to the death battle coming up this next week, though.
I think Natsu died and then came back. Although I think he's done that a lot of times already.
Joy.
Anyway, Yeah, that's pretty much it for me in terms of stuff going on here. Not much else is happening, really.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go into the news then.
Finally.
The nonsense!
Right. The nonsense is time. Alright. First off, why?
Nintendo.
Why in the world would you invent this thing that has no purpose in existing?
Nintendo.
Because people were dumb enough to buy the original.
And therefore we must remaster it, but bigger.
Bigger,
However,
and now it can actually
at
fold.
This time, at least this time they learned. They didn't make it an open-face console.
In case you're wondering, Nintendo is announcing the release of the 2DS XL. And I'm just thinking, just get a 3DS XL and never turn on the 3D.
Yeah. It about sums it up. It's the same thing, just without the 3D option.
Nintendo? What the fuck?
I have no clue, to be perfectly honest. They just need something to put out there.
They have the goddamn Switch. They could have been doing more NES minis, for God fucking sake.
Well, we will see about how that works out.
Seriously.
So, they will be making a 2DS XL, 150 US, in July 28th. Why?
Because Nintendo's idiots.
That's why.
Nintendo's full of idiots.
Just no.
Anyway, next on our list, we were talking about Persona. Well, they've decided to back up on their threatening streaming guidelines, but only...
I told you on the last podcast
we were
that they were going to get bitten in the butt for this, and certainly that's the case.
Yeah,
I already knew from the last time that we'd end up seeing a story like this with them saying, okay, you guys can play it all the way up to this point because it's closer to the end. They just don't want people spoiling the end.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because some people are, they watch it on a stream, they're like, hey, I really like this, I must stop watching this for now and finish the game myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the date that they set is right at the last day for the heist.
It's November 19th.
Yeah, it's when, according to them, when the main story gears up for the final act of the game.
Okay.
Which is a good point for people to stop, so that way people can go, hey, I really want to see this part of the game for myself.
And by that point, you pretty much have seen, it opens up a lot more avenues than the original limit. You see the entire party, you have the opportunity to see all the S-Links work out. You go through most of the heists. I think that's something that they could have opened with this point, and I don't think there would have been as much upset when the community finally get, oh, this is why they didn't want to share this part. And then everyone is fine with it. I think that their original asking date was way too shallow.
It was a little too soon. They could have made it another month or so in for the starting point, just to give people a better grasp of what the game's like.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But
in terms of anything else, that was basically the biggest change. I think that they're still looking at making sure that things work up. Even though that there were some people who were still going ahead and streaming the game past the original early July threshold.
Oh yeah, there was tons of people who were doing it anyway.
Yeah,
and they weren't doing thing 1 to them, and they knew it because they can't keep track of everybody who's playing the game on there.
Yes.
And then there's all kinds of YouTubers who are, who just continued to post because they're
YouTubers and Twitch streamers. It was both.
Yeah. They're just they're not doing anything to us,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were just fuck you, we'll do what we want.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Yep. So...
I would like to go ahead and quickly address a small rumor that's come into light recently.
Oh?
Someone went ahead and mined some 3DS eShop data.
Uh-huh.
And apparently they found an entry for Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga DX.
Really?
Yes. This is from NintendoLife.com. That has a rumor that apparently either port or remake of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is coming to the eShop.
Nice.
Again, just a rumor, but it certainly sounds interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
I like those games.
Now, Zero, I would like to bring up a point that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You said that Persona 3 is your least favorite of the modern Persona games.
No, Persona 4 is. Why? Persona 4 is my least favorite.
Persona 4, sorry. Persona 4 is the least favorite of the modern Persona games. Would you care to explain why? As
I've mentioned before, the story is really unfocused.
No, but there's a reason you hate that particular franchise, and I say franchise as a whole.
Oh, because it's been beaten into the goddamn ground.
Yes, they have the original game, a remake, and I think they have the spin-off with Persona 3, and then its own dancing rhythm game spin-off.
Let's see, we have Persona 4 Golden. We have the Ultimax and the Ultimax 2.
The fighting game spin-offs, I completely forgot about those.
Yeah, we got the 2 fighting games. We got Persona Q, which was really fan-servicey.
Crossover 3, which is really fan-servicey, and Dancing All Night.
Which is apparently canon.
It is canon.
Dancing to Save Girls from Shadows. The fuck!
Well, it's about to get worse. Because apparently Atlas registered several domain names across Japan, and some people are having some questions about what is going to happen.
Please don't run it into the ground like they did 4.
So here's what they have: the domain names for P5D, P5U, P5AG, and P5R.
Huh.
So some people have been wondering if P5R is for Persona 5 Racing.
Race? Just because Morgana can turn into a fucking car?
Well,
I mean, we need a racing game.
Well, I mean, there technically is a fan game for Persona 4, which is called All Afternoon Racing, or something to that effect.
No.
Yay.
P5U could be Persona 5 Ultimax.
Which could be a fighting game with the characters from P4 and maybe even P3.
Some people think P5AG is Persona 5 after Golden.
Maybe.
But P4D or P5D. There's only one thing that means, Zero.
What?
Persona 5 dancing.
No. Nope. No.
All of the nope.
By the way, someone apparently made a fan site. As in, they made it real. You know, they made the Persona 5 Phantom Thieves fan website on the internet.
Of course. Like,
why not?
Arguably, that is the most meta thing from the game, is the fan site. Alright. I think that covers that. Let's move on to some more relevant stuff.
Alrighty then.
Alright, Bandai Namco.
Okay.
Is going to go ahead and make a new third-person action role-playing game.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, Bandai Namco has been helping out FromSoft with their recent batch of Dark Souls games, at least that I can remember.
Yeah.
Are going to go ahead and be releasing announce Code Vein. Sorry.
Code Vein.
Code Vein. So you're going to be playing. Allegedly, you will be playing a blood-sucking revenant who, with the aid of an AI control partner, is going to battle, of course, big baddies and stuff in this specialized region.
Huh.
What's interesting about it is, number one, It's in a modern setting.
Oh, really?
It's got skyscrapers, abandoned cars, tires, dumpster stuff. It looks much more modern.
Huh.
They're trying to mesh things.
Yes. This is the game that they tease with the tagline, "Prepare to dine."
Really?
Yes. So this is not their next project is not a Cooking Mama inspired thing, but it looks like it would be something that deals in closer to a tone subject to Bloodborne, but in a modern setting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a narrative setup from Bandai Namco. In the not-too-distant future, a mysterious disaster has brought collapse to the world as we know it. Towering skyscrapers, once symbols of prosperity, are now lifeless graves of humanity's past, pierced with the thorns of judgment. At the center of the destruction lies a hidden society of revenants called Vane. This final stronghold is where the remaining few fight to survive, blessed with gifts of power in exchange for their memories and a thirst for blood. Give into the blood less fully, and risk becoming one of the lost, fiendish ghouls devoid of any humanity. This sounds like a Dark Souls game.
It does, but it doesn't look like it.
Sounds more like Bloodborne in modern world.
Now,
which could be an interesting concept.
I would like to point out that this is from Bandai Namco, and that at least I don't think that FromSoft is having a part in this, at least that I can recall.
It's a Bandai Namco Studios project. Developers behind the God Eaters games are doing the heavy lifting.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. That will be interesting to see.
I've never played a God Eater game.
It's basically Monster Hunter, but with more anime.
Ah.
And some slight elements of Cthulhu. Why
haven't I played this series?
Because it's on the PSP.
Ah, that explains it. It's on the trash console.
well, that was a way to bury it quick. Just like, nope, in the trash with you.
Dum-da-dum.
And Scythe of yours apparently also doubles as a shovel.
Indeed.
Alright, here's a really big mindfuck. Call of Duty is going to go back to its roots.
They're going back to World War II, which didn't they do Call of Duty was originally nothing but World War II games for the longest time.
That is
Those
correct,
are the ones that people loved.
That was the entire reason they became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've decided to go back to that, and people are freaking out, awesome, finally,
Finally, we have a definitive enemy. We can actually kill and punch Nazis again.
Well, now here's the thing. I think part of the reason why they're going back to this is because they want to go ahead and reground themselves. I think they've seen from the last couple of games, the future has become overdone.
Yeah.
Well, and they're having to compete with other franchises, and they're like, well, let's go back to what actually made us a franchise.
Yeah, especially when you consider that Star Wars Battlefield is now a thing.
Star Wars Battlefront.
But that blew, so...
Yeah, I mean, but even then, I want to say that there isn't a market. I don't want to say that there isn't a market, but I don't think that that's what... I think they got too far away from what made them good, and then they came in with all the hype, and they started doing new things that didn't work out well for them, and so now this is sort of their cleanse, in that they're getting rid of the superfluous, and that they're going to go ahead and try it again.
They're going back to their roots.
Realmo hasn't really touched a Call of Duty game for ages. But he's actually slightly interested in this one. He's like, what is wrong with me?
Well, I'm curious. I haven't talked to my brother about this one either. He got into it during the Modern Warfare parts of it, so he got into it with Modern Warfare and Black Ops. So I'm curious to see what he thinks about this as well, because he's had an experience of both the old and the new. And so I'm kind of curious to see what he thinks about whether this is going to be something that they can remain truthful to the older games.
Well, We won't know until it actually comes out.
Right. We probably, as we start to get more closer to the summer, we're probably going to start to see more E3 announcements, and I can definitely be seeing this one from Activision as being there.
I can't wait for some of the E3 stuff this year.
This is going to be that will be an E3 tone setter.
By the way,
apparently an E3 cast all on its own. Just
potentially. So
the
we'll
Legend
see how
Hunters
that works out well.
The Legend Hunters started with an E3 cast, pretty much.
We did. Speaking of which, I am happy that this game exists. I am throbbing that this game exists. I am salivating. I am about to fall off my chair.
Well, if it lasts longer than 4 hours.
No, I'm fine. I'm grounded. Okay. A little bit too much excitement. Let's ground ourselves a little bit. Let me ground myself as we talk about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh, good God. There is a special edition for this game.
The special... Oh, my God. Talk about the special edition.
It's like $200. It's got like 4 statues, the season pass. I actually have a picture. The manager at GameStop had me take a picture for promo.
It even comes with its own set of the Infinity Stones.
Yes, and they glow.
Yes.
They actually glow.
So that's the reason why it's called Infinite.
Yes. The Infinite Stone Zero, since you didn't grow up with the comics, basically it's 6 magical gems that control different aspects of life. Space, time, life, mind, soul, reality.
Uh-huh.
And they basically, if you combine all 6, you're a conqueror of the universe.
The Infinity Gauntlet, I'm aware of that.
It comes with the 4 statues, Chun-Li, Mega Man X, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man.
Yeah, a really nice set of characters and a really nice box set altogether.
It's like $200, but I can understand why, because you have the 4 statues, the replica stones that actually glow.
I've seen
season pass and the game. So
I've seen box sets where it would be for just 2 of the statues, it would be $200. But it's 4 statues and the case and the season pass.
The stones, the season pass, and the game. So it's like...
Yeah, it's an incredibly good deal.
So, which of you nutsos are going to get it?
I might actually get... I actually might get this box set, even though I don't own the system.
Really?
Yeah, I might. I just might, because that is incredible.
Well, because the game he can play on his roommate's PS4, so...
Yeah, and it doesn't come out till September, so I will be back here anyway when it comes out.
Alrighty.
So, in terms of what the biggest changes to the franchise, they're going back to a 2-on-2 system. They're going to have... they're gonna try and swap out some more characters. They have a couple of characters brought back. The biggest change I think that they've made is that in the original games, when you picked up an Infinity Stone, you could activate it right away for a one-time power use.
Uh-huh.
Now it replenishes over the fight. Oh, now I remember the biggest... Okay, so the biggest thing that they fixed is so that way, in order for one round to end, you have to kill both enemy combatants, and that's one round. In the previous games, that was the end of the match.
Huh.
So it's a much longer game.
I see.
They haven't confirmed the full roster, although they have said that Sigma is going to be a DLC character, and he will be unlocked if you buy the season pass.
Yeah, the character pass has like 6 additional characters that'll slowly come out after the game launches, and apparently Sigma's the first one, so...
Yeah, Sigma would be the first one.
I see. Huh.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. The next game might be up more your alley, Zero.
What's on the list? Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I still have not played the one that came out recently.
You need to play this game. This is Digimon combined with Persona.
I really do need to pick it up.
You do. Okay, so this one is essentially going to be, again, this is a new entry in the Cyber Sleuth series, and I want to call it a series because I want to see more games like this.
Okay.
So the deal is you are a hacker who goes ahead and deals with the digital world, and you will be going around and having more shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
They've said that there's going to be a lot more Digimon to go ahead and fuse and evolve. Hopefully, we'll see some new designs. But
shame.
Oh hush you. Oh hush. But yeah, this looks like it would be a lot of fun. I need to play my copy of it too, but it looks great.
Alrighty then. Yeah, if I get some extra cash from my summer job from.
Dude, I have a copy. I'll bring it down and we can play my copy.
Okay.
Yeah, simple enough. This one is gonna hurt Akari quite a bit.
Friday the 13th?
Yep. Friday the 13th is coming out May 26th.
Wasn't it supposed to be earlier than that?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, it was also supposed to be earlier than that. But here's the thing that's really going to cheese you off. We actually have a Friday the 13th this year. And it's in October.
They could release it then.
Add a couple of more features and have it come out on the day it's supposed to.
Well, and he kickstarted the game, so he'll get his codes and stuff probably pretty soon.
Yeah. But that's a weird...
That is a lost opportunity there.
Just imagine the squee that would be going on, because there would be a squee anyway.
because it comes out Friday the 13th. Why would you not do that? It's madness.
Because that would make sense, and you're asking a game company to make sense.
Fair enough. Considering what we know, considering what we discussed about video game companies for the past 56 episodes, yes, that would require them to make sense. All right.
That cannot happen.
Okay. I was baffled when I saw this next story, because of all the games that deserve a remaster and an anniversary edition, this is one that both simultaneously does and does not deserve a remaster, in my opinion.
I'm scared.
I'm waiting for the hate to come from this game, sir. I'm waiting for the hate to come from this game.
Night Trap?
Night Trap.
This was a Sega game, wasn't it?
Well, not just that. This is the Sega game that is a majority contributor to the ESRB coming into existence.
Really?
Yep.
Yes. So back when Congress was talking about Mortal Kombat in video games, there was another citation for video games being violent and harmful, and it was Night Trap.
Really?
Because the deal behind it was you were playing a special police officer or something like that, like a special task force officer.
Okay.
You basically were doing like a Five Nights at Freddy's style puzzle game where you were protecting a group of girls from a series of criminals, and you had to go ahead and make sure that they didn't get kidnapped.
Oh, I think I remember AVGN showing this off.
Yeah, it's from that era.
Oh, it's a Sega CD game. Oh.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was that because the controversial scene in question was that these girls would go ahead and have were having a slumber party. So naturally, it meant that they were in lingerie for 1992.
Yeah. So.
Granted, it's not as bad as what we would have it today, but at the time, it was considered incredibly controversial.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
yeah.
People back in the day were prudes.
And so the deal here is that when they went to Congress, they showed the sequences of the girls getting carried off and getting attacked by the enemy. That you had to go ahead and essentially trap off.
Good Lord.
And so it's been heavily cited that it was heavily cited in those commission meetings that this is reasons why we should ban it, because it promotes this kind of content to kids.
Even though you're playing a cop to prevent this from happening.
And that it was it was a negative, right? Exactly, it was a bad ending. Essentially, was completely left off the table.
You know, if a game like that came out now, Social Justice Warriors would be going ape shit over it.
Oh, they will.
Well, it wouldn't just be that, but it would also be that they would be going over the whole sexual content thing, because remember what I said about them being in lingerie?
Yeah.
Well, the actual thing that they, like, the most that they got was that they were, because they were mostly clothed. It was, like, from shoulders to knees that they were covered.
Yeah.
But it was just that they were in lingerie that people were upset. We live in an era in which teen-rated games get by with bikinis.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things where it just goes to show you some of the changes in tastes over time.
And showing just how stupid people used to be.
So, on to actually the main point of the article, which is that this game is getting a re-release with a physical disc, with a physical box, is coming to both PS4 and Xbox One.
Why?
I don't know how. Oh, and by the way, if you guys wanted to know, it's rated T. So, perhaps there is something ironic about that the game that established the ESRB along with Mortal Kombat is now considered T.
Again, as I mentioned before, people back in the day were prudish as fuck. And I don't know. I'm just kind of flabbergasted at that. And I'm like, if Night Trap is getting a 25 anniversary re-release, what other shitty Sega CD game can we expect next? Sewer Shark?
Please, nothing.
Well, you see, so here's the thing that made it so weird about this, is that Night Trap was trying to, the Screaming Villains, the ones who are responsible for this re-release, tried to go ahead and get a Kickstarter campaign to raise $330,000 to re-release the game in 2014.
Why?
They were unsuccessful back then, but apparently they managed to get the funding somehow now. But here's the thing. They released a statement in Twitter back in November of 2016 saying that they have 2 more titles scheduled for release in 2017.
Oh, God.
All I'm hoping is that it's not plumbers who don't wear ties. I'm hoping it's not that.
I thought that was a CDI game.
No, but it's in the same genre. It's a CDI game, but it's in the same genre of full motion video games.
I'm scared we're going to see Sewer Shark come back.
Or that. That would be as bad.
Oh, God.
That
was a dark age for video games.
Yeah, it was.
Let's move on before I have a coronary.
Alright, let's talk about Breath of the Wild.
Oh?
As it was meant to be played.
What?
Breath of the Wild... I'm sorry, not Breath of the Wild. Breath of the NES.
Seriously?
Yes, this is the... So, in its original design, Breath of the Wild was supposed to be a remake back to the classic Legend of Zelda from the NES.
All right.
And a fan actually made a free game based off of the actual release Breath of the Wild.
Why not?
Huh. That's kind of interesting.
Yes.
I'm actually looking at the trailer right now.
Yes, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Very weird, though.
Well, of course it's going to be weird, considering the fact that it basically is good. It's supposed to be the new game, but in the oldest game style.
Huh.
So it is rather interesting to see it work out, but it's there. It's a free demo. If you guys want to play it out, maybe see how it goes.
And get it while it's still there.
And get it while it's still there before Nintendo decides to deal testing.
Which they will.
Which they probably will, all things considered. Alright, talking about weird stories again, here's one that I did not see coming in terms of cameo positions.
Simon Belmont, Gradius, and Pyramid Head showing up in Super Bomberman R.
Yes. So, like, of all the characters, they picked these three?
It's like, why?
And
Belmont, I understand. I can understand Belmont a little bit. But Gradius and Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head, maybe because he's such a fucking flagship for the Silent Hill series.
But it's a kid's game. Who would?
This is Konami we're talking about. They're full of idiots.
I know. I mean, yes, it's Konami, Zero. I get that. They are the worst people who do not make any sense. But still, at least keep it within the same realm of, like, maturity content here.
What gets me is the artwork.
Yeah, this is like the equivalent of this is if Square Enix decided to say, okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and make a spin-off game where all the main characters are Moogles. And it messes with your eyes when you look at the characters.
You haven't seen World of Final Fantasy, have you?
No, and I don't want to.
Every single Final Fantasy character has been uber chibi-fied.
Oh, well, I played the Theatrhythm game, so yeah, I know what that's like.
I mean, like, there's real-life human people talking to uber chibi, tiny Final Fantasy protagonists.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember that game. Yes, now I remember it. Thank you for reminding me, Zero.
And it's horrible. It's
All
not
right.
a good game.
But to go ahead and quickly reiterate my point, those three characters are appearing as cameo characters in the Super Bomberman R game. They were announced, and there's also going to be patch notes and tweaks for the game as well.
Yeah, that's all good and everything, but it's still Konami, so I'm not buying that game, so fuck Konami.
We'll see what happens soon.
Yes.
By the way, Zara, I completely forgot to ask you during your week, but are you showing any interest in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Not really. I've never been a fan of racing games. I mean, I got Mario Kart 7 on the DS because we all had DSs and we could all play it, but
right.
I don't know if I want to get that.
I actually picked it up.
How is it, Mizzy?
It's actually really fun, and it's, the original 8 runs really smooth on the Wii U, but this runs even smoother, it feels like. I haven't tried out the new battle stuff and all that stuff yet.
I'm curious because apparently they also have a 200cc mode.
Yeah, I haven't tried that.
They
it's
apparently...
on the original 8. I think we've tried it a couple of times, and it's like pure madness.
Yeah.
Well,
I can hear the battle theme back there, Zero.
I'm not playing anything.
You're not?
That's Moosey.
Because someone was playing Persona.
That's Moosey.
You can prove nothing.
You got sold out, Moosey. You got sold out. Band of Thieves, we are not. We would sell each other under the bus in a heartbeat.
We're not a band of thieves, we're anarchists.
We're knuckleheads is what we are.
We're derps.
We're derps. Alright.
We are the Phantom Derps.
And we mentioned this earlier, but the NES Classic Edition was discontinued after barely selling 2 million units.
Well, that needs to be that needs to be qualified. They only sold 200 million units because they wouldn't print it. They only made 200 million units.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people are cheesed off by this decision in a nutshell.
And of course,
I kind of want the next one more, though.
The NES,
Before we continue to that, I was going to say that there was a announcement on the Japanese site which said, this product has ended production for now. When production is resumed, we will let you know on our website.
Which means it's been discontinued for now. We have no idea if they'll make more, but we do know that they're stopping production in order to make the SNES Classic.
Well,
which I do want.
I do.
That is certainly the theory right now. This is from Eurogamer, so it's not an official announcement, but that was certainly the question, and basically it's becoming more and more tangible.
I might want to get that because I did not like a lot of NES games. I loved so many SNES games.
Oh my god, yes.
Well, Zero, to be fair, I think that's because it was in our era that when we were kids, that we were in that era when we were growing up. So for maybe Muzi and Akari, who are a bit older than us, that the SNES might have a little bit more to them.
Well, here's the thing. I never owned an SNES. My friends up in Idaho did, and whenever I went up there for the summer, I always played on that. Mm-hmm. My first console was the 64.
Okay.
And I was blissfully unaware of the console wars back then.
Right. My first system that I could really say that I used a lot was the SNES. And so let me ask you, what are some games that you guys would want on the SNES to be on the system?
Well, Super Mario World's going to be on there.
Right, that is without a doubt going to appear.
They may actually have the second one on there. They'll probably put Link to the Past on there because it's another flagship game for the system.
They might do.
Would they put Chrono Trigger on it?
It would not surprise me.
It would not surprise me. They might put Super Metroid on there.
Super Metroid is probably going to be on there.
They have so many more franchises that they could get on for this one.
Would they put the Donkey Kong Country series?
I could see that.
They still have.
They still have the rights to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
I could see F-Zero being on there.
Oh yeah.
F-Zero. I'm trying to think more of who from outside of the company are they going to put on there, because they got Mega Man last time, so
they might do that again.
They certainly could do Mega Man X. I don't think they would do 2 and 3, but I think they would at least do the Classic X.
They'd probably do the classic one.
I'm going through here to try and see what other games that I might be forgetting or missing that could be on there.
Well, there's just too many. I mean,
well, there's a lot, but they're not going to put in Bubsy. Let's put it that way.
Oh God, no. Not Bugsy. No.
Secret of Mana, maybe?
So, there's some things that we know they're not going to put in there, but...
Let's see.
But there's just so many that they could put on there.
Secret of Mana, Yoshi's Island, Earthbound.
Would they put in Mario Paint?
They may, actually.
It
would not surprise me.
I don't know about Mario Paint. I don't know.
Kirby Superstar, Earthworm... No, wait, that's... Earthworm Jim, maybe.
I would say Earthworm.
Oh, yeah, it would not surprise me.
Harvest Moon, maybe?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Final Fantasy 4, a.k.a. 2.
Right, they could... Okay, here's my thing about that one. That one has been remade so many times.
Yeah.
That it has report syndrome. you can get that anywhere. I'm not sure if they want to do that one.
You can get that on your phone now.
Yeah. You can get that in so many ways. It's not even funny.
Of course, there's also Super Mario RPG.
Oh,
yes. They have to put that one on there. I will not buy it if they do not put that one on there.
I think Akari would like Turtles in Time, maybe.
That would be so much fun. Oh my god.
I'm wondering if they would put Street Fighter 2 Turbo in there.
They're already making a new version of Street Fighter for the Switch, so...
Right, I know. I know that, but there are people who are picky about the pixel art versus the revamped art.
True.
So I am curious whether or not they would double up on that.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Super Castlevania 4.
That would probably end up on there. It would not surprise me.
We got Super Mario Kart. We got Yoshi's Island. We have to put in there too.
Kirby Superstar.
Does Akari know that there's a SWAT Cats game for the SNES?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think it would make it in there, but boy, that would be cool.
Huh.
Yeah. There's quite a bit that they could put in here that would be awesome games. I think that the biggest one that I would want to see would be if they put a main RPG like either Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger. I think we're more likely to see Chrono Trigger though. That's just my opinion.
I'm wondering, will they put Secret of Mana in there?
That would not surprise me.
I mean, they have the Mana series also was really good too, so that could be a big one.
Isn't Secret of Mana also Seiken Densetsu?
I think it does. I think it does. Let me look it up on the list here. Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
Seiken Densetsu. Yes, you're correct, Zero.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was in the same franchise or not, because that kind of threw me off.
No, that is.
Oh, they could put in the classic Star Fox as well.
Oh yeah, Star Fox. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of games in here, and they are going to make some serious cuts. There are going to be some people who are going to be. This is the nerd version of the NFL draft.
Yeah.
It's going to be seeing who makes it into the SNES Classic Edition.
Now the question is, will there only be 1 million copies sold?
Well, the thing about that is, based on what they did with this, people are going to buy them fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as soon as we hear a date, they are going to pre-order to the max, and it will be gone.
The second we find out a date, I'm going to be down at GameStop going, look, can we pre-order this? Like, really? We can? Okay, here's the money.
Yeah, like, down, done, get rid of it. Because hide your money, because it is going... Hide your stuff, because otherwise you will lose it.
Yeah. And I've heard people actually hack the classic SNES to play even more games that's already on there.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing, but then you violate the warranty on those things, so it's kind of like a mixed bag.
Yeah. But if we get that, I'd love to do Let's Plays of some of the games on there because it'll actually have an HDMI port.
Absolutely, I think that would be a workaround as opposed to doing something like we did with the X playthrough.
Yeah.
I will tell you though that part of my problem with that playthrough was I did not like the Switch controller. I did not, or not the Switch. I'm sorry, the Wii U pad. I did not like it.
Yeah.
That was a bear. Now here is where it was a story that was developed that turned out to be true from last time, and is making people curious now.
All right, go ahead.
So, back in at the beginning of the month for April Fools, we had a story where Sega released Bayonetta on PC.
Yep.
And people went, of course, modded, started doing stuff, data mining. In there, they found what they found a Steam avatar for the character from Vanquish, another Platinum Games game with the main protagonist. And so people were wondering whether or not that comes out is going to be ported too soon. Here's the bigger story, and this is where people have been frothing at the mouth, is that amongst the data that was found was clips of Bayonetta 1 being repeated 3 times.
Really?
So it was a clip of Bayo kicking or doing a move, but it was on repeat 3 times in the clip.
Huh.
Gamers are a very eager bunch, and it won't take much for us to start saying sequels. So people are already frothing at the mouth, thinking that Sega is finally on board and will help them do Bayonetta 3.
To which Zero is drooling and squealing.
We do need to do a Let's Play.
I never thought any woman would get a reaction like this out of him.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Was right.
Anyway, I'm just thinking now that, we do need to do a Let's Play of Bayonetta 2, now that I think about it.
I thought you know what, I was thinking that too. I was like, did we actually do a Bayo 2? Because I know we've played it personally, but we actually never did that as an LP.
Yeah, we never did it as an LP.
See, that's your project. This summer.
Yeah, well, we got Shovel Knight, Spectre Torment, and
we got Shovel Knight, we got Bayo, we have Danganronpa, and we're probably going to have one other thing that may appear as a one-off.
Yeah. If things go perfectly well.
If things go perfectly well, which...
Knock on wood, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, last story, and this is just more fanfare for me, is this little tidbit, which is, who wants a Fallout tabletop RPG?
You, of course.
Well, this one is also based off of Fallout 4. So this would actually be up your alley, too.
Can I have a quick quip about Fallout 4?
Shoot.
The environment's nice, the combat's alright, the building stuff is okay, the story is completely utter shit.
Yeah. Anyone who has played the previous games will tell you, Zero, that giving a protagonist a voice is the worst idea they've ever done.
Really?
Yeah. Because when you have text, you can make them say whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about costs.
It limits you with a voice.
When you put voice, not only does that take up time and resources recording it, it also takes up data. So, arguably, most hardcore fans would say that getting a voice protagonist was not worth it. And there's a lot more that goes along with it, but more to the point, creators Modifius Entertainment are making a multi-format, are making a miniature war game of the Fallout franchise.
God.
That sounds kind of interesting, but...
Basically, it is playing, quote-unquote, sections of Fallout with all the trimmings that you would expect from the series.
That sounds interesting. I'm actually more interested in playing like that Dark Souls tabletop game more.
Yeah, that one looks like it would be fun too. But have you seen it's over $100 expensive?
Jesus Christ! If I get that, I kind of want to get Tails and Buck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are going to play this game. Cheesesteak will probably be playing too. But yeah, and I completely forgot to add this to the list, but we have a collector's edition for Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah, as the Fire Fades edition.
Yes.
We never got that collector's edition of Bloodborne, I just realized.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing how they do that.
And yet we got 5 versions of Dark Souls 2.
Indeed. Well, Dark Souls, we only had because Scholar of the First Sin was the remaster, The difference is that the PS4 variant and the Xbox One variant come with the actual level remakes as opposed to the PS3 and 360 versions.
Yeah.
So it's more like a cop-out than anything else.
And yet that's the one that we did the Let's Play on.
Well, because that's the definitive version.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, because that's the definitive version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's it. What's coming up on the channel, Zero?
Well, as I mentioned before, there's probably going to be Fortune Street coming in the next week or so. Probably on Tuesdays and Thursdays for now. I'm going to see how many episodes I can get out of one recording session for Fortune Street. So
we probably are going to be silent until mid to late May just because of finals and stuff. June, once E3 season starts hitting in, we'll probably be doing a lot more content.
Yeah, it'll make it a lot harder to get us together for casts with finals and everything.
So podcasts might go on a minor hiatus for now. Channel stuff's going to be at a crawl for now as well. But once I manage to at least get Legend in for at least maybe 2 or 3 more sessions of Danganronpa, we can hopefully start uploading that. Again, that series is
be hilarious.
Again, that series is very short, so I'm probably going to be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays for that series, just to kind of spread it out. However,
are you going to be doing the slightly longer episodes because of the...
Oh yeah. I'm either going to, for the trials, I'm going to be uploading 2 episodes a day, probably because I'm going to break the trials up into 2 parts. Because they're so long. Right. Or I might leave them as one big chunk, I don't know. It's entirely up to how people like it. Let me know in the comments, people. Do you want me to just upload the trials as one giant 1 hour, 2 hour long chunk? Or just keep it separated?
It also depends on how your internet's behaving, like upload speed wise.
So. Well, for these episodes, I'm going to have to go to my dad's house to upload them. There's no way I can upload these at my mom's. Hell, I can't upload anything at my mom's house anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, we will go ahead and try to get as much content out as we can. Hopefully the summer will be a lot more generous to us.
Yeah, and hopefully YouTube doesn't kick the fucking bucket.
Or we find whatever is going to replace it and jump ship.
But until then... I'm sorry.
This is Leo Force.
This is Moosey.
And this is Dead Zero of the Legend Hunters, signing out. Later, guys.
Later, guys.
See ya.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Yo.
Quit overlapping my lines!
Never!